Okay, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics as No Classics. This is episode 1110 and 1004. I got two Marvel trades. One is the final trade for this character, and it's a shame because this was a great series was coming. I collected almost every single issue of the series while it was coming out when I tried to. And this is the final trade for the Scarlet Witch, Volume 3, The Final Hex, collecting the last 5 issues of the series, written by the awesome James Robinson. By the way, I do have another, in my next Comic Corner, I do have another 2 more James Robinson trades coming up. This is the end of the series, and this is also my second series from Marvel that I have full. Now, this is one of the few I have reviewed from James Robinson. I reviewed Family Business, the miniseries Age of Robo Zombies, basically a one-shot 2 miniseries, and officially now 2 ongoing series. The first one being All New Invaders, now Scarlet Witch. Now, this particular series was basically famous for having a rotating dwarf artist. Yep, this book had several different artists, not just 1 or 2. This one had 5. Every issue had different artists. We have Leila Derica does issue 11. Alapia Moreno does issue 12. Jonathan Marks-Barraveecchia does issue 13. Sean Carrasco does issue 14. And Vanessa Del Rey does issue 15. The cover artist in here is now by David Aja, which I'm kind of like, okay, he did this great cover, but why didn't he do the interiors? I mean, did James Robinson have a problem with David Aja? I have no idea. Mostly put with these, the first 4 issues is mostly put just tying up loose ends of the series. Like, there was a problem with witchcraft and her searching for her mother is. She doesn't find out who it is. Basically, Natalia Maximoff is her biological mother. Who the father is, they don't actually say because here's kind of the thing. Thanks to the events of Access, we had to retcon basically the fact that Magneto was her father. Yep, we had to take away that particular thing that was said by John Byrne back in the 80s. Now, I have heard there has been a conspiracy theory of why this change had to happen. Because of the blood feud between Fox and Marvel Comics over the rights of the X-Men characters, and we just had to write out the fact they were related to Magneto. And people had this wild theory that they were also going to change the fact from they were changed from mutants to Inhumans. Thank God that didn't happen. And they do kind of reference it. They kind of explore it in the final issues of Rick Remender was doing when he was basically doing. They reference that in here where Ella Vodenstari mentioned that he knows who the parents really are. And of course, Natalia does get a chance to finally speak with Wanda. And she's very happy with the fact she got the name Scarlet Witch. And the fact she's very happy. They do tie up a loose end from the Civil War II tie-in issue where PHO threatened to murder his own sister. And she's like, I don't want to see you ever again. And they do reconcile before the series ends. Thank you for doing that. And plus, they actually undo something that I think Bendis did, which is have Agatha Harkness die. Yeah, she was a ghost for a long period of time. And then, like, in the penultimate issue of the series, they have her get resurrected after she's been dead for a long time. I'm sure Robertson probably saw that, okay, I'm going to make her a supporting character for a while. But then he probably heard, okay, we're going to end my series because either low sales or the fact that Marvel just didn't give a damn about promoting this awesome series. So like, okay, I'm sure you have planned to resurrect her. So he just resurrected her and made her a little bit younger. And it's also revealed that Agatha Harkness is actually an old friend of Wanda's mother, which like, that was interesting. And 14 basically was a great ending to what the series basically was doing, which I thought was fantastic. 15 basically felt like a bonus issue, which all it did was set up a return to the Candy Avengers, which basically had her basically deal with a possessed child, which the issue itself felt very much like her being like the priest from the Exorcist movie. Yep, she frees the possessed child and, like, apparently because he's a distant relative of the original person who the demon defeated, and, well, basically she joins the Avengers right after this. And I like the fact what she did when he had like whole traveling aspect of the series. I thought was really good. Now, I had this theory that of how she able to afford this. Even though she's not on the Avengers roster right now, she's probably still getting a salary from the Avengers probably thanks to Tony Stark, she's able to basically afford these massive exotic trips to. They actually mention her trips in here, like mention going to meet to Japan, meeting the Woo. And I love the fact they reference that in here, reference that character, because I thought she was a cool character that Robinson introduced. And it's surprising, though, that Marvel's done nothing with that character. Because that's kind of the strange thing with Marvel. It's like, if you're not a big name of Marvel, if you're not established name of Marvel, if you don't create this character, if this character is not created by a big name at Marvel, we're going to do nothing with the character. Despite the fact she's an awesome character. And she kind of feels like a female Iron Fist, basically female version of Ocean Randall because she uses guns. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic the fact they referenced that character. And resurrecting Agatha Harkness, brilliant move on the part of James Robinson too, because I think for a lot of people who didn't like the fact that Scarlet Witch actually sort of killed her, they referenced at the beginning of the series, and oh yeah, that was like not me, that was somebody else. Yeah, but I think resurrecting her, brilliant move on the part of James Robinson for doing it. And 14 definitely felt like an actual series finale. And like I said, 15 felt like a bonus issue. I kind of wish this series would not end it. This is really good. I love the issues in here. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Final thoughts on this series? I'll get that book in just a minute. Now, I own pretty much all the books of the series. Now, this book I got from Amazon. These two books, the first two books here, I actually got these. Okay. Sorry about that. I got this one from, I got both these two from Comic-Con. Yeah. The first trade. Here, second trade. Third trade. Yep. And this book had several different artists. 15 issues, and these were the artists for these issues. The very first trade of the series, Witch's Road. Yep, this is the first find for the series. And now, Vanessa Del Rey was, in fact, they did for final issue, I thought it was really good. These are art artists they did for 15 issues. They had Vanessa Del Rey, Marco Rudy, the late Steve Dillon. Yeah, he actually worked on these, actually owned these issues individually in trade. Chris Visions, Javier Perito, and of course, David Odge did every single cover art, even the cover art for the trades. Yes. The second set of issues 6 through 10, and they threw in the Doctor Strange Last Days of Magic, which I think that was Jason Aaron who wrote that. Yeah. Now, these were the people who did the 5 issues in here. Issue 6 was done by Margaret Savage. 7, Anna Wu. 8, Tulu Leti. Julie Jones did issue 9. She's also the current artist for Catwoman. I think she may have left. 10 was by Zel Sema. Yeah, the Wu story from Doctor Strange, Last Days of Magic. The artwork in that one's done by the awesome Mike Perkins. I met in person, really awesome person. And of course you have this here, which I've already mentioned, those trades. And it's great, though. I own all 3 trades. Plus I own the trade that collected the original miniseries for Scarlet Witch. Plus all the bonus stories featuring her. Like, this book collected the original 4-issue miniseries, which she had, done by Denham and Annie Lenning, along with a one-shot she had with Quicksilver, material from Martin 125, Soul Avengers number 5, Mortal Kombat Presents 663 and 143, 144, and Mystic Arcana Scarlet Witch. Like, I'm very happy with the fact I own all 4 of these trades. And this is everything for the Scarlet Witch solo-wise, collected and trade. These 4 trades are it. There's nothing else for Scarlet Witch. I mean, yeah, there's a team-up series with her and the Vision, but yeah, this is it. Scarlet Witch is a great character, and I do have a personal theory of why that she got an ongoing series. My personal theory of the reason why, because she was just featured in Age of Ultron. She's played by in the live action by the beautiful and smoking hot Elizabeth Olsen. They probably felt this, okay, she's got popularity, let's give her an ongoing series, and then barely push the character afterwards. Of course, they do keep the fact she's supposedly the mother of Wicked and Speed from the Young Avengers. They still keep that. But otherwise, though, yeah. And of course, well, Teddy, aka Hulkling. Apparently, he doesn't bring in the fact that, hey, Wanda is smoking hot. Yeah. Alright, move from one supernatural-based character, even though she's immune, but she has supernatural powers, to another supernatural-based character, and that is the Essential Werewolf by Night Volume 2. This collects issues 42 to 43 of the original Werewolf by Night series, Giant Size Werewolf by Night number 2 through 5, and Marvel Premiere number 28. Now, all the issues for this book, except for Marvel Premiere issue, written by the awesome Doug Moak. Yeah, he wrote every single issue. The artwork is mostly the same. Excuse me. For the main issues, it's done by Don Perlin. The Giant Size Werewolf by Night issues. Now, the first one put in here, Giant Size Werewolf number 2, that's done by Don Perlin. But the other ones, he does also issue 3. But 4 and 5 are done by 2 different artists. 4 is done by Virgil Renito, and 5 is done by Young Monto. Yep. And yeah, they also have these books have several different editors on here. Well, I should mention I don't mention the editors, but these are well-known big names in the comic industry. I believe 2 of them have since passed away, but the other 2 are still very much alive. For a majority, you have Roy Thomas as the editor, along with the late Lean Wayne. He actually passed away the same year as Brian Wrightstein, awesome artist I met in person. Yeah, I actually met in person less than 6 months before he passed away, which, yeah, that was something. We also have Marv Wolfman, which made perfect, and Archie Goodwin. Yes. These issues basically, are basically just continuing adventures of Jack Russell, aka Moon Knight. Mostly put, basically, for these issues, it just basically continue one-shot adventures with him. Plus, these issues are famous for the debut of Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight, who debuted in issue 32 for the series as a villain, then they made him a hero the very next issue. And then later, I think that maybe Doug because the character was probably received very well, they got him an ongoing series, and he's still being published this very day. And last I heard, I think Ben Percy is doing a series right now, and yeah, it's pretty good. I love Moon Knight. I think he's a great character. Yeah, he also has a guest star appearance in the final few issues of the main storyline for this series, which basically kind of it actually does establish something for Jack Russell as the Werewolf by Night that will pretty much continue this very day. He teams up with Brother Voodoo. Yes, Brother Voodoo guest stars for a few issues in here. Why? I have no idea why he does that for. And it just felt like putting him in here because they wanted to. And they pretty much had it where Jack Russell was basically more in control with word transmission. And he's able to basically retain his, let's say, his personality when he's the werewolf. Which they kind of also have done this with the Hulk and She-Hulk. So I think this was the first character they did it for who had the transformation into something like this. And they managed to keep the same personality both ways. And this was something he actually kept to present day. Yeah, Marvel has never got rid of this at all. Nope. They never have. Now, in case you're wondering about, they also have guest appearance by Morbius. He popped up for issue 4 of the Giant Size Werewolf by Night. And then he popped up in Marvel Premiere number 28, which is a Legion of Monsters. Yeah, great group. I love this group. Yeah, this group is basically comprised of several well-known supernatural characters from Marvel Comics. Heck, in the Giant Size, in issue number 2, he has a fight with a Frankenstein monster. Yes. Which, I try to get his hands on the tray, oh my gosh, the essential Frankenstein monster is $35, and Amazon's no thank you, I'm not paying that much for it. Let's see, that is a Moon Knight issue. Let's see here. Now, the Marvel Premiere issue is done by, of all people, Bill Mantlo. Yep, Bill Mantlo did the issue. A guy who was known as the Filler King. Yeah, I heard he had that nickname. I've never met him in person, but yeah, the guy basically the guy is an awesome writer. He's still very much alive. He's just basically been hospitalized since the late 90s. Okay, the Legion of Monsters is comprised of, well, pretty much the Werewolf by Night, Morbius the Living Vampire, Man-Thing, and the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. Yeah, that's the original group. And here's the thing. After this appearance, they never appeared ever again until Rick Remender resurrected this group in his run for Punisher. Yeah, that's not a joke. It's a really strange issue, but it's a great little standalone issue of Marvel Premiere. It's mostly with these characters coming together to take on this creature, and by the end of it, it's like, yeah, we're done. My guess is it's basically probably get the idea of gathering a bunch of supernatural-based characters to form a team. This probably would lead to the formation of the Midnight Suns in the 90s. Of course, this came out in the mid to late 70s. Yeah, these issues came out in the period from 1974 to 1974, 1977. Yep. Oh yeah, and also the last couple issues, yes, basically you have a guest appearance by Iron Man. Yes, the only character besides Moon Knight and Brother Voodoo. He interacts with the regular Marvel Universe, which I thought that was interesting. Yeah, the thing with Werewolf by Night is he very rarely interacted with the Marvel Universe. He was mostly his own side character who just basically did his own thing and didn't have anybody like help him. Like, I think working with Iron Man, that was a really brilliant stroke of genius on the part of Doug Moak. I think he has written the main Iron Man book. Don't quote me on that. I think he may have. I'm not really sure, but I think he did a great job basically writing Iron Man 2 issues to guest starred in. And yeah, that was pretty much it I can think of when it comes to this book. This book is great. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic. Also, his debut of the character Frenchie, who was a regular supporting character of Moon Knight for years up until the 2006 run. Yep. Yeah. Now, what did Werewolf by Night do after this? He did very little. Yeah, he did very little after this. He had a miniseries in the 90s and a one-shot, but yeah, the guy did nothing. Like, not much. I mean, his most recent appearance I could think of was popping up for an issue of Peter David's X Factor run in his very popular and critically acclaimed run from 2006, the one where he had the private investigation. Yeah, when he took Wolfbane's son as his own to raise him as like his own kin. But yeah, he did virtually almost nothing for a long period. Yeah, he's like Marvel should do a little bit more with. I have heard rumblings he may appear in live action as part of the Marvel horror stuff they're doing. Yeah, it's just a rumbling. He might appear for Midnight Suns, but yeah, that was just a rumbling I heard. It's been a rumor for quite some time he might appear in live action. He'd be a great character. Just don't do what they did with the last time they did a Werewolf character that was associated with Twilight was the Wolfman. I haven't seen it, but I heard the film has got terrible editing. Like, the editing is atrociously bad. I own the film. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I really do want to see it, but I want to see how bad the film is. But yeah, that was the most recent thing I can think of when it comes to Werewolf, because a lot of time when it comes to other Werewolf films, usually like B movies, people may or may not have heard it before. Yeah, but I do think Werewolf by Night would be a great character for movies-wise. Oh yes, definitely. TV show, maybe for Disney Plus because of the budget they might give for the thing. But movie, yeah, definitely. But I would say they probably would draw from the original stories by Jerry Conway and probably Doug Moak. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. And I probably will say the rest of the video is probably for tomorrow. But yeah, I'm glad the fact I got 2 videos done today, okay? Next video. Bye.